Let's go. What's up, bro? We got a podcast in the metaverse, bro.
yeah. Who knew that this is what it was all building up to through the entire first season, and now we are here kicking off season 2 with all of you guys, a live studio audience.
Let's go. Every Tuesday,
a podcast. We didn't even know what was happening. We're 15 episodes into this.
It seems to be helping and impacting a lot of people. We'll see you every Tuesday on the MetaVersed podcast. Peace.
I don't know why I chuck deuces. Like I don't chuck deuces. What was that?
Okay.
El Blanco.
Hey.
Here we go.
What's up, bro? Cucumber man in that bottom drawer, you know. Christmas, bro.
All right, welcome back to
great.
MetaVersed, everybody. Let's not mess around and just get our guest right out here. Please welcome to the stage our friend BossHawg.
Boss to the hog. Let's go. Give him the music.
Yeah.
Play the music. Get it.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey, okay. Listen.
Yeah.
I just want to say, y'all, you are seeing one of the coolest dudes in the metaverse ever. Even that dance was just smooth. I've been trying to get mine.
Yeah, I'm in here trying not to knock over like my.
Thank you, Jason. But I thought BossHawg's dance was good too. Like,
Yeah, I'm in here trying to knock, I have my laptop in front of me, and I'm like, I don't want to push over my MacBook, but
Right.
hey, sometimes you got to break a couple MacBooks,
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. What's up, Jason?
What it do, brother? I don't know why I just chunked deuces. I don't know. Just chunk deuces.
Man, so I mean, tell me the truth. You were talking about my dancing when you said some of the coolest
Absolutely, I was not, brother.
Sturman likes my dancing. He said I should trademark my worm dance.
Yeah, thanks, Sturm. Thanks, Sturm was at work in the booth. Appreciate you, dude.
Yeah.
And
Sturman
Kimberly,
Andrew.
what's happening, Kimberly? And
Yeah. Kimberly. Two of her favorite people, Jason. We did it. We made
did
it,
man. Look at us, mama. We made it.
Yeah. Oh man, it's good to see you, my friend.
Likewise, man. Likewise. It's like, I feel like did we do last week? Because it's been a
I don't know. I don't know how things work anymore. Like I don't understand time anymore.
That is funny. Yeah, man. Dude, always good. I can tell when Tuesday's about to come because I'm like, I need to holler at Aaron, man. We got so much stuff to talk about.
Speaking of which, we probably should just because it's set up nicely. Next week, both you and I are going in different directions at the same time. So we're actually going to take a week off of the podcast, both the recording on Friday and the live stream on Tuesday. Again, this Friday we're in the metaverse recording.
We'll be there
but
Friday.
The whole next week we'll be off doing some other stuff.
Yes, sir. Too bad, too bad you can't talk about what you got going. Wait.
Yeah. So full, like I was going to say full disclosure, but not full disclosure.
Right.
Jason and I talking before this, we're talking about some exciting stuff that we can't reveal yet. But hey, bless you, man.
Thank you, brother. Bless you as well, my friend.
Thank you. I'm a little stuffy too. You got a little stuff going on, huh?
Yeah, I do, man. You don't have the ooh-wee, do you?
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't either. I just yeah, my son he started back to school and came home sick. My wife was like, take the COVID test.
Yeah, that's right.
And
back
so
to school and
all the school cooties, man.
Yeah,
and so since I'm the guy to pick him up, he passed it on to me. So whatever it is.
I'm pretty insulated. All my kids are grown and out of the house, and our closest thing to a dependent is my mom that lives here, and she's not out gallivanting around. So
So you think, you know?
So we think, yeah.
That's funny. Mom was sneaking out at night.
Yeah, right. Terminator says, "Get well soon."
Yeah, thanks, Stern.
Yeah. But man, again, this is always so good to get together and connect. And I wanted to start off this one right with the intro of BossHawg, because man, what a cool,
such a cool
cat,
dude,
man.
Absolutely cool as a fan. I thought he was a lot older than what he really was.
Yeah,
what he really
how,
is.
how old is he? But
no, I think he's in his 40s, but he just got that 50-year-old swag, man.
Yeah,
maybe 30s.
Yeah, I hear you. He's just cool, every way around it.
He's got to be in his 30s because he's an actor, and I'm just thinking about the roles that he plays.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, he shared some of those roles with us. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up that clip so we can learn a little bit more about our friend.
Well, yes, I am a voiceover actor for hire.
Yeah, get money, brother.
Because professionally, I'm an actor. I'm a working actor. I have a movie that I'm in coming out next month, September 23rd, on Paramount Plus with Sanaa Lathan, Clifford Method Man Harris from Wu-Tang Clan, Mike
Let's
Epps.
go.
Wow.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. So I'm an actor. It's what I do for a living. It's what I do for a living. I'm also on the cast of Black Mafia Family, which is BMF on Stars. I was on season 2 of Empire. Yes, I do know Jesse Smollett. Yes, I do know.
Dude, what's
the number? You know, that's the number one question. Do you know Jesse Smollett?
Is it true or not? You know,
is it that? Is it true or not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So man, it's amazing. Like, as we're popping around the metaverse, just seeing people and because of the dynamics of how we all interact, we don't even realize oftentimes that we're talking to a celebrity. You know, we're talking to somebody who's running with some cool cats, you know. Yeah. Oh, did we lose your audio, Jason?
No, you didn't lose it. Here it is right here.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
I did mute it. I didn't want y'all to hear my nose blowing.
Yeah. Hardy West in the house.
What's up,
here.
Hardy?
Yeah. Have you met Hardy?
I've met somebody with the last name West.
Okay.
I can't remember if it's Hardy or not.
Yeah.
Have we met Hardy? Did we meet?
Let's see what. Oh, there's a little bit of a delay.
Oh,
so he'll probably respond in like 30 seconds. But yeah, Hardy World Spades is one of his recent creations.
I've been there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he says he has. You know what? We got to get him on the podcast.
Let's do that.
Let's do this right here. Like, all right, Hardy, live coming at you. We need to get you on the podcast.
Yep.
Man.
Hardy's in the dugout. Let's go.
Yep. Hit me up, shoot me a message, and we'll coordinate it, because we got to get you on for sure. Yeah, he's a big influencer in the metaverse. And
it'd be great if somehow we can connect it to where while we're interviewing, we can play spades. That would be great. I don't know how we could do that.
Yeah, he's down. He's down for the interview, and he might be talking about down for playing some spades too. I was talking to him a little while ago, and I told him, yeah, I've played some spades. He's like, you play spades? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. You've been to a cookout or two.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, now euchre's my game. I'm not gonna lie.
That is a bridge. I love some bridge.
That's right.
That is great. Yeah, man. But it's amazing how in the metaverse, which is also great, because it's like the playing field is level in terms of introductions. Even if you're a star, if you don't have your name on your deal, you can just walk in and nobody knows who you are.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
really
that's
cool.
a really good point. And you know, it's funny because the metaverse is all about accessibility. You know, it's
Yeah.
all about having experiences and places accessible to you. And what you just talked about for a celebrity, like there's things that are inaccessible to them. To walk in and
Right.
be anonymous, that's not an accessible experience until you get to the metaverse. And then you
Right.
can be whoever you want. In fact, there's so many people that walk around and impersonate. You know, somebody with a real famous voice could
Yeah.
come in and pretend there's somebody impersonating them.
Right. You could even, you know, a star could like, man, let's say if you were let's just say if it was Denzel Washington and he's talking, people like, man, you sound just like Denzel Washington. Like, I get that all the time. And just play it off.
Actually, the best thing would be when somebody comes up and be like, "Man, that's not a good Denzel." Like,
Yo, hey, has this ever happened to you? When you say something to like somebody in the drive-through, you crack a joke and they just having a bad day and they don't laugh. They're like I wouldn't become a comedian if I were you. Like,
right. Don't quit your day job.
Right.
Like, man, you don't know.
That is great.
Oh man,
that is too funny.
I was in the soapstone the other day.
That's my cousin. What's up, Tina?
Hey, Tina. Now, so her last name's hyphenated Earls Stringer.
Yes, actually, she misspelled it. It's Earls Ringer. Like, no. No, so part of my family has the last name Earl, and then one had murdered somebody, was trying to fly on the radar, so he put an S on it.
Okay.
That was
Sometimes sometimes it takes more than that. Like, that's not a very good disguise. Like, you'll never find me now.
Right. I just put an S on my name.
Yeah.
No, like one of family members, my granddad, I think it was, that put an S on his.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh.
Too funny.
Interesting. I wasn't sure if when it got hyphenated, like they dropped one of the S's, but not yours makes more sense.
No, no, where it is, if you have more than 3 children, then you have to put an S on it.
Because it's
so I got 6. Yeah, since I got 6 kids, I got 3 S's.
Right. One for each one over 3. Jason Earls is. Oh man. Oh, good stuff, man. So again, like BossHawg, hanging out with him, and it was unfortunate he wasn't able to join us in this live stream because, man, again, like my blood pressure goes down when he walks in this room.
When he talks, what's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Like, wow. When you show up in a world that he does the voiceover, and his world, you're like, okay, I get it. I'm at peace now. It's funny. That's why probably not a lot of kids come into his world, because he got that big daddy voice.
That's right. That's
Sit
right.
down somewhere and shut up.
Yeah. Oh, Terminator says, don't make no Bena babies in there. That's a quote from BossHawg there too. Oh, good. Speaking of BossHawg, let's go to another clip where he even gets in a little bit deeper to some of who he is and all that. Here we go.
BossHawg, man. Tell us about yourself. Who's BossHawg?
Well, I'm a husband. I am the world's greatest uncle.
Nice.
But not the world's greatest husband.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Well,
he couldn't say anything. That's hilarious.
I'm the universe's greatest husband.
All right.
I'm the world's greatest uncle for sure. I am, I'm a man of many different talents, and I don't know. It's I don't even understand how I got here as far as 2 horizon worlds. Like, this is crazy, so.
Wow.
I could explain that. You put on the Oculus.
That's right. The world's greatest uncle. Yeah, by the way, I couldn't let that slide. He's like, I'm a husband and I'm the world's greatest uncle.
Dude, that was great. That was great.
He was quick though. look at how he turned that right around. He says, "No, I'm the universe's greatest husband." Like, it's like, all right.
But what's cool is when he talks about his wife, man, you could tell that's a man who's really proud of his wife. His wife has a PhD, and just for when a woman has a PhD and she obtained that while she was married, it's like they're saying a lot. One, that she was wife, and doing the studies, and a man is that, but just for him to say, for a man to support his wife, like, hey, you become the best in your field on this particular subject matter. You go for it, because we all know that our wives are every wife should have a PhD. Well, I know mine should have a couple of them.
Yeah. I know my wife, when she earned her CPA designation, she was a wife, she was working full time, she was going after the CPA designation, she was a mom, like, I mean, doing all this. Yeah. Amazing. And there are, there's hurdles that women face in getting designations like that and accomplishing things like that,
right.
that men don't necessarily face,
Absolutely.
and not saying that men don't face hurdles, because we know we do, but there are some hurdles that women face that are different.
I respectfully disagree. We don't face hurdles. We face himdles.
Man, I love hanging out with comedians. Like it's a pretty good time. Like,
I ain't jumping on hurdles. You better put some himders out there.
Oh man, good stuff. So yeah, it was so fun to talk with BossHawg in there and seeing some of the things that he's done. Like Grown Ups is, of course, the world, or actually the series of worlds that he's known for, and he just does good stuff.
Indeed. And shout out to him. He says that he doesn't have any children of his own, but he embraced that uncle role and just full on just went after being an uncle, man. That's awesome.
That's an important role.
Absolutely.
To have a grown man that can befriend and be like, not necessarily a full father figure, but like that mesh between a father figure and just a little bit cooler,
Right.
like
it's a guided, a cool guide to supplement the guidance that you have from your parents.
Right.
Because your uncle be like, look, okay, here's what he means. My uncle, man, I think my uncle saved me from being murdered by my parents.
Yeah. Well, and there are things that a dad could say something to you, and then the uncle could say the exact same thing in the exact same words, and you're going to receive it different. Like,
dude, case in point, why I didn't get murdered, man. Like, my dad had a strict curfew, and you couldn't violate the curfew. Even if you worked, you still had to honor his curfew. And one day I came in the house late, probably 2:00 in the morning when his curfew was 12. But I had to close. Shout out to Hardee's on Portsmouth Boulevard in Portsmouth, Virginia. And man, I came to my dad's house at 2:00, man. He was hot. And he disciplined my 17-year-old self. And I was so mad. And then my uncle came the next day. He was like, man, what happened last night? And he let me talk about my dad. Like, man, he crazy.
Yeah.
He's so strict to make me sick. And my uncle's like, look, man, your dad's the rule of the house. Hardy West, you're like this. We're like, man, you playing spades. What's the first rule? I was like, house rules. He was like, if you playing spades at somebody's house, you got to go by their rules. If you don't, you just don't play spades there. Your dad got rules, man. And when you get your own house, you're going to want somebody to respect the rules of your house that you set. So you got to respect his. I was like, yeah, you're right. My dad couldn't tell me that.
I was going to say, and your dad probably told you that 50 times.
Right. And I never heard it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
the game
wild.
of spades has impacted my life, bro.
Yeah, life lessons in spades. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff, man. So talking to BossHawg and we got going. This dude was so full of just very specific good advice for people coming into the metaverse and all that. It was just awesome. Actually, at some point, maybe we should just post that whole interview.
Right.
And we can go through the clips here, but yeah, that's like the whole thing was good. And in fact, like here's a little bit of advice that he shared right off the bat.
I never imagined to be a world creator. When I first got into Horizon, just like many other people, I used to follow Oculus. I used to
Oculus.
Mr.
I used to
Metaverse.
follow Squirt Reynolds, and
Yeah.
and I would just pick the
Reynolds.
brains of like, okay, how do you do this? How do you do that? And my advice to everyone is this: stop asking people, stop going up to people asking them. Just jump into a world, grab you some shapes, and start from there. Because when I first created Grown Ups, I didn't know what I was doing. I created the chandelier, and then I just created the box, and then from there I started just putting stuff together. And then I was driving my wife crazy because it was 12 o'clock at night and I had the lights on and I'm in there doing this.
Man,
That is great.
man. So he's talking about, like, I love that clip because what he's saying is like, don't go seek people out and be like, hey, can you do this for me? Like he's saying, get into it and then find people that will help you,
Yeah.
pointed and specific. There's this, here you go, Jace. There's this verse
Yeah.
that talks about the Holy Spirit is sent as our helper. And I used to have a pastor that would say that all the time. Like, what are you doing that you need help with? If you're not doing anything, the Holy Spirit isn't going to help you do anything.
That's great. That is great. There's a saying. It's not a Bible verse, but God loves a moving target.
Oh yeah,
God hits a moving target. Like get moving, get to moving.
Yeah. Dean says, glad I'm not the only one. My wife thinks I'm crazy. Yeah, no, all our wives have come in and seen us like talking to our imaginary friends.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, in fact, and they're actually an investor, and he was like, "Man, is it an opportunity for me to invest in the metaverse? Like, how can I get involved?" And I was like, "Thank you for asking that in front of my wife." Because my wife thinks I'm just in the room playing with Aaron.
Right. What are you guys doing? We're building.
Right. Playing Legos.
That's that is wild, Actually, this sets up perfect for this other clip because he's talking about exactly that in here. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and play this other clip where BossHawg is talking exactly about that. Oh, it's Solaris here. Yeah. All right, here we go with this clip.
How it is, and I'm sure everyone who has an Oculus can relate to this. You can resonate with this. When you try to explain to someone who doesn't have an Oculus, they look at you like, okay, yeah, he's finally lost it. Yeah. He's back drinking again. What the hell is going you? So you put on a thing in your head, and you sit in a room with the lights on. And you're in your drawers and you talk to people you don't know. No, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Right. You could get robbed. Somebody can be coming in our houses right now as we sit here.
We would never know.
We would never freaking know. So to answer your question, bro, I make it fun. I get my wife to come on the Oculus with me. If my nephews and stuff they come on the Oculus with me, and we play little games, and we do the escape rooms and the comedy clubs and the things like that. Especially during the whole pandemic thing, and now the whole monkeypox and the next deadly thing that's going to get us or whatever. So it's a cool situation to have a date night, and you're in the comfort of your home. You didn't spend any gas money because gas box is $48 a gallon. You didn't you didn't spend a lot of money on food at all, because you can't eat with so much with this thing on your head. So I've been able to have it fun, to balance myself to not do too much of one thing. But my answer in all would be just to have fun, man, to make it fun with the family, to make it an event itself.
Man,
dude.
I mean, my big takeaway from that is, wait a minute, we're supposed to wear our drawers when we're in the metaverse.
That is too funny. Why does mine keep shortening?
Oh man,
way, this has nothing to do with what we talking about. It was just funny, and I saw it. It was like on an airplane, and it had, of course, like the stick figure. It had a toilet back here, a toilet right here, this way, and then it had the figure, the person this way, with the dotted line going this way. And it had a red X on it.
Oh, like they're like we got to put a sign up, because there's like anytime you see a sign, there's a reason that sign's there.
The caption said, "Whichever man can do this should be allowed to."
Right. That's a dangerous maneuver. Like,
that is impressive.
Yeah, my goodness.
But man, it's BossHawg and you are the only two men that I've heard talk about, man, like a really nice date night with your wife on the Oculus, man. That is so impressive to me.
Yeah, and it's, good, bad, or indifferent, this world that we're hanging out in is becoming a big part of all of our lives. And
yes, it is.
To be able to share that and include our significant other, our spouse, our other half, in that, it's important. It's also important not to pull them in if they, if they're not interested,
right?
But to be able to include them, I think it's a really, really important thing.
But and also to any woman out there listening, one marriage tip is that, man, most husbands want a wife who's gonna play with them. Not all the time, but just sometimes. Like, and a healthy tip for man, woman who's ever married, man, getting in each other's world doesn't mean you got to always get in each, all the time, but take a moment to appreciate what somebody else appreciates, what they enjoy. Like, man, I could care less about Downton Abbey, but my wife likes it, and she likes when I look at it with her.
Yeah.
So, and I can stomach 1 or 2 episodes. After a little while, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And my wife, she likes 2 just terrible genres of movies. Like, she likes the natural disaster flicks.
Yeah.
That it just hurts to watch the writing and the acting and the directing, and like, does
she like Sharknado?
Oh, all of it. Like, I mean, yeah, all of it. and then James, all right, you might need to come over to our house and hang out. 2012 is a good one. Yeah. But man, and then she likes the Hallmark movies, which again, like, I mean, I don't know why there's more than one of those movies.
It's all the same.
Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah, and they play the next one when they roll in the credits for the previous one.
Right.
So it's all like you just watching one long movie. Like,
yep. I did ask my wife, because I've watched a lot of Hallmark movies. And I've watched the natural disaster ones too.
It works out for your benefit.
Yeah, it does. Well, and I asked her, I'm like, why do you like these? And my wife's an analytical person too, and she's like, I've been thinking about that. And I'm like, good, because I need to know, like, what is it that's good about this? And she's told me, it's predictable and it's like a warm blanket, it's this feeling of comfort that comes along with it. Just knowing what's going to happen, just knowing that it's going to be wholesome, just knowing that everybody's going to live happily ever after. Like it's good.
Yeah, I just think it's ridiculous when the girl always kissed the guy after he come out. They're like, dude, he still got oil and all that stuff on his face. You don't kiss him. That's so unrealistic. She didn't even wipe it off.
That's right.
Grab all that stuff. She just
I mowed the lawn the other day and I came in and like my wife was staying away from me. Like,
right.
Like that's the way it should be. I'll get cleaned up and See, we get into the heavy stuff here.
Yeah, but it's just, man, it's amazing how marriage tips always come out in these conversations.
For sure.
Because the Oculus can be something that actually destroys families. Or is a not necessarily destroy, but is just a greater weight or distraction. But knowing how to include each other and when not to include, I think is important.
Yeah. Well, there is genuine connection that happens in Horizon Worlds and in the metaverse, no doubt about it. So if that marriage isn't strong, that marriage is at risk because it's just like a workplace. You go into a workplace and there's genuine connections that happen, and there's a lot of risk if that marriage isn't strong.
Absolutely. That's why the term always the work wife and work husband always bothered me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not healthy. I'm not gonna call another woman anything wife.
Yeah.
That's just weird. This is my personal preference.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a sign of problems, I think.
Right.
At least take a little check here. Let's see. Alma says, back on the Alma says, when she tunes into true crime, that's when you really need to become concerned.
Yeah. How to get away with murder. Like,
right. Yeah.
Well, snapped. Something's wrong.
Yeah, that's a red flag. It's if you start calling somebody your work wife, work husband, your meta wife, meta husband, or if your real life wife or husband starts watching true crime a little bit too much, those are both red flags.
And you look in the Bible and she's got highlighted "Thou shalt not kill" on it and underscore,
like underlined 3 times, circled. Like boy,
with her own prayer written beside it, like "Help Jesus."
Oh man. Yeah, good advice. Good advice here. You gotta keep that relationship strong. There were a couple other things that BossHawg brought up that are just reoccurring things in this. Everybody we talk to, and every time you and I get together and talk, we end up talking about collaboration and about networking. Here's 2 clips that I'm going to play right in a row from Boss.
Networking is the key, when it comes to the voice thing, that's why I say like the world greatest uncle. I'm a real life Uncle Phil. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I frequent my own worlds, but the motivation behind my worlds was just like with the house. I build places that I like to go, and the music that I like to listen to. and just so happened others like that too, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why it felt like home for you, and that's
Right.
why it feels like home for everyone who goes like to the grown-ups lounge or, you know, the grown-ups cruise line.
Yeah. So I will throw a little break in here because to talk about that networking piece for a minute before we get into the collaboration. Like BossHawg, that's how he and I met. Is he came into the soapstone and was hanging out, like,
Yeah.
you know, and I mean he's a big player in the metaverse. Like he didn't need to be out networking, he didn't need to be out doing that, but he was, and it was so great to just genuinely connect with him and just sit there in a booth and talk, you know. It's important, you know, and networking gets like a bad rap, like, because the networking meetings and,
Yeah.
you know, everybody's there to pitch something. That's not networking, you know, that's selling.
Right.
Networking is when, you know, I don't, there should be something witty there, like working within the net, or I don't know. But what do you think networking
Please
is,
stop.
Jason?
Please stop.
Stop.
Yeah, I think I look at like BossHawg, I look at you, and I watch people that you network with in the metaverse. Let me not use networking, but it's just meeting and having conversations. And there's this book I read. I can't remember the name of it, but it's how to network by losing.
Yeah.
It's something like I'm butchering the title, but that's the idea. It's a lot of people think winning in network means you selling yourself and people buying into it. But he says, no, you lose by seeing how you can help other people.
Yep.
And that's actually how you win.
Yeah.
It's like, man, just listening to people, hearing what they've got going on, say, you know what, this might, have you ever considered, you know, you need to meet this person because they will help you in a sense doing do what you do better. So it's like you're exalting someone else while you're taking the humble road. There's a verse that says God rejects the pride but gives grace to the humble. He exalts the humble. And so if you really want to do well in networking, the idea is like, see, just listen and see what you give. Sometimes it's just giving affirmation through, man, that's great what you're doing. And but don't look to see what you can get necessarily. Just remember, it's always more blessed to give than it is to receive.
Yeah. That's it. That's you know, when we're connecting with people, we're forming relationships, and if we can put ourselves beside ourselves and actually focus on adding value to them and delivering for them and how can we help them, it tends to work out. Early on in the podcast, back in season 1, you and I were talking about sidestepping praise, you know, and the people that are around us, exalting them and lifting them up and allowing them to benefit, and just trying to deliver as much value and benefit to them as possible.
Yeah.
And when we do that, like, it doesn't take anything away from us. You know?
Not at all. It's reverse math. I call it God math, when stuff just add up and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, you just do stuff and, man, watch what happens. Give and it shall be given back to you.
That's right.
And in good measure, press down, shake it together, and run it over. It's talking about love, man. Like, give love and watch the love that you get in return.
Yeah. And of course, all that comes right back into not just networking, not just that initial connect, but then actually working together and collaborating. Here's a clip on collaboration.
Even to this day, with me building worlds, I have, like, you know, selective people who I trust, and I know that they're better than me than do certain things, you know, like CJ Shotlow, M5 Divine, and my brother Austin the Wise, like, you know, certain my nest of people who I go to, who are my go-to people. I can now put together whatever I think of, and then the little things that I need done, I know who I can go to say, to give me another opinion. You know, it's kind of like 4 eyes is better or 6 eyes is better than 2, you know.
And Sensei Jay, shout out for Sensei Jay for editing these clips together. But he cut out my joke right at the end of that. I said, "Man, I just got bifocals, so I guess I'm straight." or maybe shout out to Sensei Jay for cutting my joke.
That's funny. Yeah, you good, brother. You more than good. Just think if you got another one of you, that's 12 eyes. That's a dozen.
That's right. That's right. Man, yeah, that collaboration, you know, as the more time that goes on, the more that things distill down, and the more people are asking me, okay, so how did the soapstone happen? How did the community develop, or how did the team develop around the soapstone, and how are people engaged, and how did this happen? I mean, it comes down to 2 things: collaboration and community. And I mean, that's it. For a while there, I was trying to think of a third thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm stuck on the rule of 3s, but it's like, no, you know what? If those 2 pieces are in place,
What are they again?
Watch out: collaboration and community.
And I got a third one.
All right.
Cut the crap and just get started.
Right.
Yeah, just cut the crap. Stop making excuses and just go for it. Start building.
Yeah, which that brings us right back to the beginning where BossHawg started. Start doing. If you want to build in the metaverse, start building.
That's it.
And man, it's so amazing. Time after time after time, I see people start building, and they're like, "Man, I can't put two blocks together." And then next thing you know, like they're building these palaces, like yeah. It's the learning curve is quick. The learning curve is quick if people get in and do it.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
Blessing in disguise. Oh, you're talking about
oh yeah. Alice says blessing in disguise.
Oh.
Oh, you got
no, somebody just knocked on my door.
Are they asking, are you in your pretend world again?
That's what I'm playing Legos with Aaron. That's what I'm doing.
Mom.
She's looking at me. She needs something. What do you need? You need something? Oh, I text her with a request, thinking that she was still out.
Okay. And she's like, "You're on your own."
She's like, I'm at the house. I'm back here, but you in your own pretend world.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Man,
that's great.
Man, Kimberly says we're motivating her to give it a try. You know what, Kimberly? I'm glad you're feeling motivated to give building a try, because, man. And by the way, you're talking about building and not murder, right? Like back when we were talking about murder. I'm assuming you're talking about building, so that's a good thing if you're doing that. But yeah,
dude, that's I'm gonna tell you, man. I want to tell anybody who's listening, I'm not necessarily a major builder, but being able to hang around you and being a part of all of these conversations, I'm blown away about how all these people who've built these amazingly great worlds didn't know how to build worlds, but got in and just started building. This is amazing. And so what's funny is when I'll see people come up to you, people come up to others like, "Man, how did you do this?" And I laugh like, "Dude, just go start building something."
Yeah.
Stop up, man. We're so maybe as our culture that's tried to make things so easy for us, but just get in and start building.
Mm-hmm. And there's again, like the community in Horizon Worlds right now is a very collaborative community. It's a very lift each other up, and be a healthy group that's building this platform.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
People not used to that in real life.
You're right.
So to come into a world, you just don't think that you can do that. But excuse me, everybody's doing that.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, hey, go see this one. Go see this world. He did this great. I'm gonna show you how you did that.
Yep. And if you look at the people that you know that are getting opportunities, like from Meta, from Horizon Worlds, the people that are getting more and more involved at that level, they're all community minded people. Like
Yeah.
they're all the people that are like, you know what, I'm not going to hold anybody else down. I'm going to do everything I can to lift up the people around me, you know.
Right. And if you do the opposite, you get blocked. You get shut out from the world.
That's right. Yeah. And there are people that do that too.
Yeah.
You know, there's I'll tell you, there's two chumps. Man, I hope they're watching. They might not be, but there's two chumps that come into the soapstone, and like they just don't get it. Or they do get it. They're just coming in to disrupt things, and they feel like they can come in and get up on stage and cuss, and then tell us we're stupid for not allowing them to do that. And they're chumps. They're only out for themselves, and they're only out to disrupt things. They're not going to go anywhere.
Right.
I mean, they're not destined to do great things. They're destined to get their little moment of rebelling, and that'll be the end of it.
It's like a teenager who wants to come in past their dad's curfew. It's to continue to do that says a lot more about you than your dad. Actually, you got if you're gonna be in the house, play by the house rules. If you don't,
right.
go
That's
somewhere
right.
else.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But don't think that people shouldn't think that they have the right to come in and stop other people from experience what they want to experience. Bless you, man. Wait a minute. Did you mute, or was that literally a silent sneeze?
That was a silent. It hurt.
Ace the Base is the silent assassin, and you're the silent sneezer.
Dude, no, my sneeze is loud. That's why I held it in.
You didn't want to see my headphones go poof.
I pulled my sternocleidomastoid.
Really? Sneezing?
That muscle right there. That's your sternocleidomastoid, by the way.
I'll tell you what.
I heard it.
I don't know what muscle I pulled, but I was out in Vegas with Renee. We were on vacation. One day we hiked through the Grand Canyon, hiked down for a long ways, and came back up. Big hike, you know, and all this heavy duty stuff. The next day I sneezed and it put me in the ER. like I mean, something in my abdomen area. It buckled me to my knees. Did
you try to hold it in?
I did, which you shouldn't do that.
Listen, you shouldn't sneeze or farts. Don't hold them in. I'm telling you.
Right. Yeah, right.
Hurt something.
Man, I wrote this dumb joke during COVID where because it was when they were telling us to sneeze into our arms like that, or into our elbows, and I was like, sneeze into my elbow, fine. I'll even burp into my elbow, but fart into my elbow? No way.
That's kind of hard. I'm trying to see how you could do that.
Right. Yeah.
That is funny.
Oh man, dude, my soul is revived every time that we get together and talk. I get more enthused about what the day and the week is going to hold. I get more excited about what's happening. This is good, man. This is your turn. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, we lagged out.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, it's again, I'm always encouraged by what just all the exposure that the metaverse is getting and you. And by the way, we haven't done this in a while. We did it in Worlds. What are the stats? I used to always love getting the stats from you.
So yeah, I mean, good things are happening in the soapstone. I don't have it pulled up in front of me right now, but we're at right around 140,000 hours of engagement currently, which is pretty spectacular. And we're maintaining we're anywhere between 10,000 up to around 13,000 visits a week in the soapstone, with an average of about 21 minutes per visit.
Wow.
So a lot of people are coming, a lot of people are staying, a lot of people are hanging out, and this is in the midst of the platform growing, which is a good and healthy thing.
Yeah.
But like, we've got other friends that are building and are opening up new places, and they're becoming popular, and people are hanging out there, which again is awesome. It's a little scary because there's a little part is like, oh no, if everybody from here goes off and builds their own thing, is this gonna die? You know, but again, it comes right back to what we were talking about, where you know, we need to add value to the people around us. We need to encourage them to grow. We need to help them succeed. And if that means people taking, or if that means people not hanging out as much in the soapstone, that's okay, because there's more people that are coming in that we can encourage to do the same thing. You know,
Absolutely.
Exterminator says, shout out to the Very British Pub. Absolutely.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. It's been so cool. Our UK friends came to the soapstone and we started getting to know them. And then they built this British pub. They would tell me I was learning all about the British and UK culture. And then they built this pub. And I, in the metaverse, was able to go over there and experience their culture. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
The metaverse is about accessibility.
Yeah.
And it would be so difficult for us to access a British pub, you know, and they've brought it to us. The culture.
Goodness.
And I met with them yesterday, and we talked through some things. Man, they got it going on. Like, they're doing all the right things, and they've got a vision for the future. Watch out is all I'm saying. Like, these guys are gonna, like, you're gonna see a whole lot more of them and of their place.
They're crushing it, man.
For
Absolutely
sure.
crushing it.
For sure.
So proud of them dudes. And I mean, it's, you know, he came out, he told me the other day, he was like, Arkansas, man, I told Aaron, I can't do his accent.
Yeah, right.
Oh, he said, man, I have a lot of respect for you, you know? He's like, man, the stuff that he had, he's good at what he does. Because this is a huge undertaking. I was like, yeah, buddy, it's a huge undertaking. You just don't have a popular world in the metaverse because you made a good world.
Yeah.
It takes infrastructure.
Yeah. And yeah, there's so much emotional cost and physical work and that's involved, and it's hard, and the people that are building these great worlds, like, you know, we have to network together, and be there to support each other through it, because if we're on an island, I bet you got a verse for this, but if we're on an island, if we're alone, we're not going to make it. But if we can band together and help each other and support each other, we'll be like a three-corded rope.
I was about to say that's where I was going. Yes, sir. Ecclesiastes 2 are better than 1.
Yeah.
So they have a good reward for the labor, you know.
Yeah.
And a 3-4 cord is not quickly broken.
That's right.
Also, I mean, you look at what happens when in unity. There's this story, you know, the Tower of Babel. All these humans were together working, and God's like, man, nothing will be impossible without these dudes. For these dudes, because they're all unified.
That's right.
Let's confuse their language. So when you're unified, the sky literally is the limit.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. I love these talks. We're gonna have some more, but not next week.
Not next week. We're taking a break.
Week. Yep, we got some other stuff happening. That
pardon the dust, repair we must.
That's right. So, but this upcoming Friday, we'll be in the metaverse recording.
Yes.
And Alma says Philippians 2:3 would also be good and applicable there. Yep.
Come on, Alma.
Yeah.
Do nothing in selfish, empty conceit. That's not it. But humility of mind, regard one another is more important than yourself. Is that it? Let me see. What is Philippians 2:3? I like. It's funny, man. Sometimes people like, man, you don't know. And they just name random verses for me to quote. I'm like, bro, yeah, I don't know that one.
Right.
I never forget, dude in college, like, man, you a Christian? You ain't no Christian. What Isaiah 3:2 say? I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
I have no idea. Philippians 3:2. I want to see what it says.
2-3.
2:3. 2:3. Oh, that says, you want to be a baller, shot caller, yeah, do not be. I had it right. That was it.
Yeah.
I'm too much of a Bible nerd.
That's
always yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, let's call it, man.
Let's call it.
Yeah.
Hello, it. How are you? See what's up.
Love hanging out with comedians. All right, we'll see everybody Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern in Jason Earls Productions for the live studio audience recording of this, where we grab our clips from. And then not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, we'll be back right here, 1 o'clock Eastern, on all of these social media channels and YouTube and all that. So we will see you soon. Thanks for being a part of the podcast.
Let's go.